This is my buddy Harmon. He's one of the top certified mechanics at Main Street Cycle. He's about to walk us through the installation of the Moorehead Off-Road Engineering Ford A-arms for the Gen 3 XMR 1000 Outlander, which can be purchased at teammscparts.com.
Hey Jeff, talk to you about installing your A-arm. We've got the right side done, and we're gonna walk you through doing the left side, the front and the rear. Should be mirrored on the right and left, be the same, just front and rear. All right, Jeff, you'll have to drill this brake line's got a rivet in it, and then we're going to take out this, and this one is a 30 millimeter or a 30 Torx head like this, and a 10 millimeter nut on the back side of this one. This one, the nut is just in there, so just take it out. Okay, now we're going to take the shock loose, which is a 10 millimeter bolt and a 15 millimeter socket on the head and a 15 millimeter on the nut. And of course we've got a 15 millimeter nut here, and then it'll be a bolt and nut that we're going to take off back here, and that's on the top A-arm on the left side. The bottom one will be a 15 on both front and back, and then you'll have a bolt in here will be a 15 bolt and a 15 nut, and then we'll have a 15 bolt and nut here, and then an 18 to take off this ball joint, and we'll get all that took off, and I'll show you how to put in the bushings and put your A-arm back on here.
On this part, he's showing you how to take the shock off and secure it to get it out of the way. Remove the brake caliper, your brake line, and then go ahead and remove your ball joint. As you can see, Harmon is installing the A-arm bushings. Once that's done, go ahead and secure your A-arm, put it back on, get that shock back out the way so you can secure that A-arm correctly, and go ahead and install the A-arm. Okay, from the previous segment of this video, it was two 15 millimeter bolts and nuts to take off the bottom. Here's Harmon putting in your A-arm bushings, your lower A-arm bushings. Now that he has that done, he's gonna go ahead back and install it. I'm sure you guys know, just reverse the process of what you just did to put those arms back on. Here's two of my buddies trying to figure out how to get my camera out of time lapse. Okay, let's install some ball joints. As you can see, Harmon is installing the Keller ball joint. I opt out the OEM because these wheels and tires are bigger. I'm a bigger guy, so I went with the strongest option that's out right now. Harmon just simply took the ball joint, put it in because they were already pressed, which is an option that you can go with the Moorehead Off-Road Engineering arms. You can go ahead and go for the Keller ball joint. You can get it at teammscparts.com.
We got you covered on the front. You got the lockdown bolt back in it. You got your ball joints put in. All your bolts put back together. You gotta put the brake caliper back on it, and then we're gonna hook the front shock back up. And that's installing A-arms on your Can-Am or anything. You just do one at a time, one bolt at a time, and you can't go wrong. So let's mount this brake caliper. Okay.
Loctite is very important. I tend to forget that sometimes.
Always use Loctite. Back.
At this point, go ahead and make sure your caliper's back on and secure those brake lines. I think Harman used some heavy duty zip ties to secure those brake lines because in the beginning, you remember you had to drill that rivet out to get that brake line off. Now, let's get that shock back on.
Alright guys, so that does it for the front. You will have to take these panels out, just right here, this plastic panel that goes in the fender well, right here. It goes in there somewhere. I think it goes in there like this. You have to take it out so you can get up in there to the nuts on the back side of the bolts. That makes it a lot easier. So I'm gonna put this back in here. I'll figure it out. There we go. Just like so. Find my push clips. There we go. Got that back in there. Oh, I have the front completely done now. That's pretty much it. You just unbolt it, get it out of there, put your bushings and everything in, put it right back in, and then do the other one. Just make sure everything's tight. Don't never go ahead of yourself trying to loosen this and that and forget bolts. You know, that's not good. But as long as you'll tighten everything right when you're touching it, you don't have to go back and think about it. You're just done. The only thing, we can't bolt this back up because the A-arms don't have bolts, so we zip tie the brake lines. And you just want to zip tie them up where they're not going to get into nothing, let nothing, yank, tear them off. So that looks good. And we're going to turn around here and do the rear. But doing the rear, it's gonna be a lot easier than the front. Always is. We're gonna unbolt the shock, unbolt the sway bar, which we've already done because we've done the right side to relieve the pressure on the sway bar and everything. I've done unbolted the rear shock and the sway bar on this side. On your brake lines on the rear, they're riveted to the A-arm, so you'll have to drill the head of them. But don't worry about that because we're just going to zip tie the brake lines back to the Moorehead A-arms we're putting on here. So we'll just take these little clamps off. And again, this four-wheeler has mostly 15s and 18. So take 15, put it in reverse. We're going to pull the shock bolt, and then we're going to go ahead and do the top A-arm first, since it's easier to get to. Alright, I removed the A-arm on the top rear. It's 3 bolts, pretty simple. We're going to go over here, go get us a top A-arm. Oh no! Somebody's done took them in this box. Oh yeah. Got us a red pretty A-arm. And then again, we're just gonna put the bushings in here. When you get your bushings in the box with the rear A-arms, if you'll look at them, you're going to have 2 that are bigger than the rest. When I say the bushings will be bigger, and the sleeve that goes in it, and that's for this bottom back A-arm that has the 18 millimeter headed bolt. So it's a bigger bolt, needs bigger bushings and centers. Just make a note of that. These things, some of them go pretty easy. You just push them in with your hand, just like so. I do like to I like to come back with some grease or some kind of oil at least, and just spray. All this is where that bolt's inside the sleeves, just so it don't rust up, cause problems one day when you have to take these back off. Alright, putting it on there. We're going to stick the tire backwards, so just make sure you put it on right. Alright, we got the top A-arm done. We're just going to move on and do the bottom. Okay, bottom A-arm. The big bushing and a little bushing. Little bushing goes here, big bushing goes here, where the big 18mm bolt goes. Jeff, that's got you buttoned up as far as the A-arms. I'm gonna come back through. I'm going to zip tie the brake lines, and I'm going to install the sway bar mount bracket. I am gonna have to trim this one off because the factory is way too long. All right, here we go. It is. I like it.
Thanks for watching. Big shout out to Main Street Cycle, Moorehead Off-Road Engineering, and my buddy Harmon. Thanks for recording, man. Hope this helps. Remember guys, like, share, and subscribe to JMW Off-Road. More to come. Peace.